These are the two most important dates in Medicare, and most people only find out after they've missed them. Let me ask you a question. If you were retiring next month, would you know exactly when to enroll into Medicare in order for you to avoid lifetime penalties? Would you know when to review your plan so your doctor and your meds don't disappear on January the 1st? If that made you pause, keep watching, because I'm going to walk you through the two dates that every Medicare beneficiary needs to know, what happens if you miss them, and how to stay protected for the long haul. Let's get into it. Now let's start with the initial enrollment period. This is called your IEP. Now this is your personal Medicare starting line. It is a 7-month window, okay? It opens when you turn when you're turning 65. The way that it breaks down, you get 3 months before your 65th birth month, the month you turn 65, and you get 3 months after that. So if your birthday is in August, your enrollment window starts in May and it runs through the end of November, okay? Now, why is this such a big deal, Brittany? It's such a big deal because if you miss it and you don't have any kind of other qualifying coverage like employer insurance, you can face lifetime penalties on your Medicare Part B and your Part D premiums, okay? And yes, I said lifetime. Not just one-time fees, not just you'll pay it back, just because you missed it this one time. This is not just a slap on the wrist, okay? We're talking about higher premiums every single month, every single year for as long as you have Medicare, and you're going to have it for the rest of your life. So here's the catch. If you're already drawing Social Security when you turn 65, Medicare usually enrolls you automatically. So that means there's nothing for you to do, and you'll get your card in the mail. You're good to go. But if you are not drawing Social Security yet, this is where you want to take notes. That means if you're not drawing Social Security yet, and you're saying, Brittany, that's me, you have to enroll manually, okay? You'll need to go to the Social Security website and sign up for Medicare manually, okay? Now, if you don't do it early enough, your coverage might not start on time, okay? So if you don't do it early enough, your coverage might not start on time, which could leave you with those gaps or penalties that we've been talking about. So are you starting to see why that date kind of matters? So let me ask you this. Do you know when your 7-month window opens? Are you sure you don't need to take action manually? These are two questions that you want to ask yourself on this while you're watching this. You could pause it right here just to make sure you answer that question to yourself and make sure that you know. So this is why I created my Medicare Planning Guide, because it's too easy to miss something and pay a price for years, okay? So now let's talk about your annual enrollment period. This is your chance to make changes once you're already on Medicare, okay? It happens every single year. If you're somebody who's been working for quite a bit, you've been on employer coverage, this is comparable to when they say it is time for you to review your benefits. It's the open enrollment period, and then you kind of go see if you need to make any changes. Maybe you had a new kid, or maybe you lost, your kid is off your coverage this year because they're 26. This is that same period of time, just like when you were working, that you evaluated things that you want to pay attention to on an annual basis, called the Annual Enrollment Period. This is your chance to make changes. Mostly if you're on a Medicare Advantage plan, and to your prescription drug coverage, okay? So AEP happens every year from October the 15th through December the 7th. If you're on a Medicare Advantage plan or a Part D prescription drug plan, this is your moment to review and, if necessary, which is not always necessary, make a change. Why? Because there are changes that are made to these plans, minor, sometimes major, every single year. So let me break that down. Maybe your doctor is no longer in network, okay? Maybe my doctor no longer takes this company, takes this coverage. Maybe your pharmacy stops being preferred, right? Maybe the medication that you need is no longer covered, or is covered at a higher rate. And the part that most people miss is that if you don't review this plan coverage during the annual enrollment period, you may be stuck with it for the next year, even if something critical changes. So I always tell my clients, what worked for you last year might not work for you this year. And what worked for you last year may be perfectly fine for you this year. But that is the key and the importance to actually doing a review in general, right? And so every October, we sit down and we look at your medications. Are you still on the same medications? Do you have new medications, right? Did your doctor take you off some medications? Your preferred pharmacy, any new health needs that you may have had, right? Any new health needs or changes to your health at all? Plan premiums and any changes to the deductible. We review this every year because guess what? Insurance companies aren't the ones that's going to call you to tell you that the plan may have gotten better or gotten worse. They mail you something in the mail, and you know what you're probably going to do? Most people simply disregard it and throw it away because you get so much in the mail. I get it. I hear it every single day. In that booklet, it might be the only warning that you ever received that something changed and something important changed. So let me ask you again, have you ever reviewed your Medicare plan during the annual enrollment period? Do you know what's changing in your plan for next year? If not, you want to make sure that you're having conversations with somebody that can guide you and make sure that you understand this year after year. Now, I know this stuff can be confusing, and the truth is, that's not your fault, okay? There's so many moving parts with Medicare, and no one teaches you how to time it properly. And that's where I come in. If you're turning 65 soon or you're already on Medicare, I want to send you a free copy of my 2025 Medicare Planning Guide. This is, just plain English answers to your most important Medicare questions. My 83-year-old grandmother told me that she's learned more after being on Medicare for literally 20 years at this point. She's learned more since she's had access to this Medicare guide and to my content as well as my webinars and seminars than she had being on it all of this time. And so I'm sharing that to say that it doesn't matter if you've been on it for a long time, there's still some value, I believe, that you can get from this planning guide. So it walks you through exactly when to enroll, what to do if you're still working, how to avoid penalties, how to review your plan every year so you are not stuck. So make sure that you click the button in the link below to make sure that you get access to my Medicare Planning Guide. I'll get it right over to you ASAP, okay? Or head to the link in the description and grab your free copy, okay? And hey, if you found this helpful, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, so you never miss a Medicare update. And then if this was super value for you, make sure you send this to a friend that you know is planning for Medicare, because the rules change, the plans change, your life changes. Right? But when you got the right information and the right person helping you, Medicare doesn't have to feel overwhelming. And that's what I'm here to do. My name is Brittany Garrison. I'm simply here to make Medicare simple for you. So I'll see you guys on the next video.